Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time and depending on when you're going to be seeing this video. It's your brother, your boy, Cos Reps Corner. Like I always tell you guys, it's my corner, it's your corner, and it's our corner.
I don't wanna fall in love, I just wanna have some fun, yeah. I don't wanna fall in love.
You know, one of the very wonderful things that has made me happy in recent time is this coup that have taken place in some part of Africa. Let me tell you, talking about Niger, Burkina Faso, and the rest of them. I think there are about 3 countries now. I think Niger, Burkina Faso, I think Mali also, if I'm not mistaken. No, Gabon or so, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So these 3 countries in Africa have made me very proud. You know why? Because the leaders are doing well. They are doing well. They are doing very okay. But the first is Captain Ibrahim Traore. Captain Ibrahim Traore is the young man you are seeing now, and is the military leader, or the president, as you can call him, of Burkina Faso. They call them burkinabab. Let me tell you, if you want to be free, what you should do first as a person is to cut all ties with those persons who have an edge over you. Should I repeat it? If you want to be free, you have to be very open to cut ties, to cut agreement, to cut anything you have with those persons who have control over you. That was what this man said. Let me tell you the truth. When you see a leader, you know a leader. Compared to some countries like my country, Nigeria, that has civilian government, but yet we are being dictated to how to live our lives. He's a military president who should be able to use his power, dictate to anybody, but he's not using it. Rather, he's using it to make the country a better place. But my country is a different ball game, and somebody wants me to settle down, to relax, and clap for the president of my country that he's doing a nice job, whereas he's doing something that can even make me even see him and even hit him. It's very barbaric and painful. Now, if you know, Burkina Faso and some other countries in Africa speak French, which means they are civilian, or I call their father, let me use the word, just as Nigeria, the colonial masters is the United States. Some of these countries that speak French, their colonial masters is France, and that's why they speak French, and that's why we Nigerians speak English. But this president have come so far, and that of the Niger, I'm sure of these 2 countries, have come so far, and they are trying to sever every relationship with their colonial master, which is France. And this particular captain, who is the military leader or the president of Burkina Faso, is doing well. Have you seen what this man have done within few months of being the president? Have you seen industries? Have you seen things happening in that country now, as I'm talking to you right now? But in my country, that we have men who do not even care. They don't even care, and they don't still care even till today. Let me not drag it. He spoke English in this video, and I want you to hear him speaking. He speaks English fluently. You will hear him speak, and I hope that you will see that yes, people like us who are still from Nigeria, we are still very backward, and we need people like this to bring back our memory. Let me not drag it. Let me just allow us watch it, okay? I haven't said I want to thank you for always watching my content. I want to appreciate your love and the care. For those of us who haven't subscribed or followed us on our social media platform, please, I beg you, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share, so that we can move this ministry to a permanent site. Come away next time to see me on your screen, guys. I leave us with this video of what the president, the military head, or the president of Burkina Faso said about their colonial masters, and what he said he will do as the new and the incumbent president. Please, give me your reaction, comment, opinion in the comment section.
If you want to break with these imperialist forces, it's simple. We denounce the agreements. Everything starts from there. I think the example of Chad in any case is tangible. They started by denouncing the agreements. Otherwise, if we don't denounce the agreements, just saying that the bases leave, we haven't done anything. Because the problem lies in the colonial agreements, the defenses that have been signed since independence. The most dangerous is not the one you see in the bases. The most dangerous are the military advisors. military advisors exist in all these countries. They existed in Burkina as well until the end of 2022, until we took responsibility. And who are these military advisors? They are the ones who are supposed to implement France's policy. Here, they must work to make our armies very weak, so that France can always have the argument to exist here. Under their influence, they had succeeded. Our sentinels were therefore standing guard with sticks. That's what France wants from our armies. When we reach this stage, we have no choice but to want them to come and settle. But the Burkinabe army managed to get rid of the military advisors. Unfortunately, I think that in 2019, after Operation Otapono, where the French saw that the Burkinabe army still had the capacity to respond to terrorists, they called the chiefs of staff in France. They instructed him to reintegrate the military advisors throughout the structure. Well, they did not agree. But upon returning to the country, the politicians instructed him to accept the military advisors. And that's when the military advisors returned to the Burkinabe army in 2019. With all the consequences we know, the army was on the verge of disappearing in the years 2020-2021. And indeed, this is the time when many soldiers had to desert because there was no longer any hope. We were in the process of collapsing. That's a bit how they work at the General Staff headquarters. In all army headquarters, in the schools, they are the ones who are supposed to dictate the policy of our army. They are the ones who tell us when to recruit, how to recruit, and what to do with them. They are in the schools to tell us how to train them, and so on. As long as these military advisors are there, you are not independent. Your army will just have the appearance of an army that is there to perform parades, a circus. But when war comes, you will realize that a parade is one thing, but war is another thing. You have to break the agreements. It's the only way to have an independent army and build strength. But many people do not understand this, perhaps. And even with these agreements, France selects from our states officer cadets to go and train them. It's through these same agreements. But in reality, these officers who go to train, for the most part for France, they come to serve the French state in their country. They do not come to serve our countries. They train them so that they come to serve the interests of the French state. I can provide evidence of this. When we revolted, many officers in Burkina who were trained in France were immediately contacted to tell them that it was time to take action because you were trained for this, to serve France's interests. Most of these officers reported back to us. We took note and we continued to monitor. When an officer trained in France returns to his country and unfortunately dies, either by accident or on the battlefield. In France, there is a night of tribute to the fallen in the army, as there is everywhere else. During the night of tribute to the fallen, the name of the officer in question is mentioned, and it is said, died for France. They do not train him to serve his country, they train him to serve their state. And in many African states, there are plenty of such officers.